I don't understand why they never ask how I feel. The sentence sounded soft, yet hit thousands of fans watching Kim Taehyung's Weverse LIVE broadcast, better known as VBTS, hard. Without a long intro, without sweet talk, he started his broadcast in an almost flat tone, but there was something unusual in his gaze. And in just a few minutes, all BTS fans around the world were silenced. Not because they were happy, but because they were confused, panicked, and their hearts felt like they were choking. What exactly happened? What drove a Taehyung, known to be calm, in control, and rarely expressing sadness in public, to finally be unable to hold back his tears? And why was Jungkook's reaction across the continent so emotional after watching the show? One live broadcast lasting less than 30 minutes has raised a big question. Is this the beginning of a major shift in BTS's internal dynamics? Weverse LIVE that afternoon started without an official announcement. Taehyung just appeared, wearing a pale yellow t-shirt and a tired-looking face. There was no fancy styling, no special lighting effects. Just one camera, one microphone, and one confession that opened the curtain on emotions that had been locked up all this time. In the 6th minute, he started talking about feeling unprioritized, about pressure, about expectations that are left hanging for too long. I just feel like an asset. No longer an artist, he said softly. Those words hit hard. A confession that had almost never been heard directly from a BTS member. Taehyung didn't mention anyone's name, didn't point directly to HYBE management, but the fans, especially ARMY who are sensitive to the gestures and diction used by members, knew the direction of the conversation. He was talking about inequality, about projects that were held back, about voices that were not heard. The reaction to the broadcast was swift and massive. A 12-second video clip of Taehyung saying, "They never ask how I feel," spread widely on social media, trending on Twitter, TikTok, and even entering discussions on entertainment forums in South Korea to America. But it wasn't just the content of the broadcast that was the focus. What was even more astonishing came from thousands of kilometers away: Jungkook's reaction in Los Angeles. Jungkook was in LA at the time to take care of personal matters and music collaborations. However, as soon as the video clip of Taehyung's broadcast spread, he reportedly immediately contacted BTS management and staff. A source from their work environment mentioned that Jungkook was silent for more than an hour, replaying Taehyung's broadcast video repeatedly. In fact, a studio crew mentioned that Jungkook was seen wiping away tears several times and refused to continue the recording session that night. "I have to talk to Taehyung now," he said briefly when met by fans outside the studio, with swollen eyes and an expression that could not be hidden. It was a very rare moment. Jungkook crying. Not because of a concert, not because of an award win, but because of deep empathy for a friend who had been secretly holding back wounds for years. What exactly happened? Speculation began to emerge. Many fans highlighted how Taehyung's solo projects, including albums, international photo shoots, to offers of collaboration with global fashion brands, have been held back for no clear reason. While other members continued to move forward with their projects, Taehyung seemed to be left behind. Could this be because of management decisions? Are there unequal priorities? What makes everything more mysterious? Just a few hours after the Weverse broadcast, Taehyung uploaded a picture of a bird trapped in a cage on his personal social media. There was no caption, just a single emoji. A symbol that for most ARMY is very clear in meaning. He is talking about freedom that has been taken away. HYB responded with a brief statement that actually made the situation worse. "We ask fans not to speculate. All BTS members are in good condition." There was no clarification, no detailed explanation. And of course, no one answered the main question. Is this just a momentary outpouring of emotion or a sign of a major shift in the group's structure? the closeness between Jungkook and Taehyung has also become a spotlight. So far, the two have been known to be very close, often appearing together on screen and behind the scenes. However, in recent months, fans have felt an unusual distance. There is no public interaction, no moments together backstage. Has anything changed? Or is their bond stronger than it seems, and Jungkook's tears are real evidence that he has been aware all along, but doesn't know how deep his friend's wounds are? Until this article was written, Taehyung had not made a further statement. Jungkook is also still in Los Angeles, not attending public events and postponing business meetings that were previously scheduled. Some sources say that he is calming down, but there are also those who believe that Jungkook is considering professional steps to show solidarity with Taehyung. If there is indeed pressure from the agency, then this could be a critical moment. If there is indeed inequality, then BTS could be entering a new era where members begin to consider their respective paths independently. Or vice versa. This could be a call for deeper reconciliation, rebuilding communication and mutual understanding that had been torn apart. What is clear is that the simple broadcast with the yellow t-shirt was not just content. It was a silent scream that was finally heard. And Jungkook's tears were not just tears. It was a signal that behind the glittering stage, idols are also human, with wounds, hopes, and feelings that have been held back by industry demands. This story may not be over yet. But one thing is for sure, Taehyung's honesty and Jungkook's reaction have opened a new chapter. Not only for BTS, but for the entire Korean entertainment industry, where the voices of artists should not only be heard when singing, but also when they talk about feelings. However, after all the emotional turmoil that occurred after Taehyung's live broadcast on Weverse LIVE and Jungkook's alleged tears in Los Angeles, an important question arises that we must not ignore. Did all of this really happen as reported? Or is this just a narrative shaped by social media, driven by fan emotions, and exploited by certain parties for exposure and momentary sensation? The massive reaction that emerged in a matter of hours, trending global topics, an explosion of analysis content on TikTok, speculation on Twitter, and even reaction videos on YouTube, all seem to confirm that something big is happening. But let's stop for a moment and ask, do all the evidence we see really support one definite conclusion? Or are we trapped in a mindset driven by collective emotions? We live in an era where a 12-second clip can become the basis of a global narrative. One sentence from an artist can be taken out of context and used as evidence to construct conspiracy theories. But is one video clip enough to describe the entire reality behind the scenes? Are we sure that someone's feelings and heart can be fully understood only from the spotlight of the camera? Until now, there has been no official confirmation from Taehyung, Jungkook, or HYB about the existence of conflicts, internal pressures, or inequality in solo projects as widely discussed. In fact, the agency released a brief statement that tended to reassure the public and urged not to speculate excessively. But here lies our dilemma as viewers. Does the silence of the official party mean tacit recognition? Or is it a sign that all of this is just an overinterpretation of fans and unofficial media? It needs to be underlined. Most of the information that is spread comes from unofficial platforms and anonymous accounts, be it on TikTok, Twitter, to online forum threads. Many of them claim to have inside sources. But has there ever been any concrete evidence included? Can we trust unverified chat screenshots? Will we continue to trust the narrative from someone who doesn't even mention their identity? We should also question the dramatic narrative about Jungkook crying in the studio in LA, replaying the Weverse video repeatedly, and leaving the building with a swollen face. All of that was told by anonymous accounts who did not provide any documentation. Is it true that Jungkook refused the recording session that night because he was emotional? Or is this just a fabricated story that managed to stir up fan emotions and increase the number of views and comments? Are we being victims of social media algorithms, which prioritize user engagement over truth? Let's be honest. How often do we click on a video because the title is Taehyung cries in front of the camera without checking the full context of the broadcast? How many of us spread short clips with big assumptions without watching the entire contents of the broadcast? Furthermore, let's reflect. What drives us to believe in these stories? Is it because we want drama? Or because we are emotionally too attached to the lives of these idols to forget that they are also ordinary humans with a right to privacy and personal space? Are we being fair to them? Or are we making things worse by drawing conclusions too quickly? We also cannot close our eyes to the possibility that narratives like this are deliberately formed by certain parties to create a commotion. In the entertainment industry, there are many actors, both individuals and groups, who understand the power of virality very well. Dramatic and ambiguous stories are the perfect fuel for the algorithm machine. And when fans are dissolved in emotions, rationality is often abandoned. So, who really benefits from this narrative? Fans. Clearly not, because many of them are actually made restless and uneasy. Taehyung or Jungkook. Also not, because their image and personal comfort could be disturbed. Then who? It could be social media, YouTube channels, or accounts that monetize speculative content for traffic and attention. In conditions like this, the most important thing is not to find who is right or wrong instantly, but to develop a healthy, skeptical attitude. We don't have to be cynical, but we must always demand valid evidence, official confirmation, and complete context. Don't let emotions control logic. We as viewers and fans must be able to distinguish between reality and emotional engineering. Let's reflect. Do we really know what Taehyung was feeling at that time? Is it possible that he was just sharing a personal moment without intending to insinuate anyone? Did Jungkook really cry because of the broadcast? Or is all of that just speculation that is too far-fetched? Finally, let's realize that in the world of entertainment, not everything that is seen is what actually happens. An artist can smile while holding back pressure. A friend can look far away when in fact they are secretly still supporting each other. And one live broadcast can be misunderstood by millions of people just because of one clip that is out of context. We convey this information based on monitoring various social media and fan platforms. But the truth of all of this has not been fully verified. Therefore, we invite you, readers, fans, and music lovers, not to swallow every news you see whole. Ask, question, verify, and reflect. Because in the era of digital information that is full of noise and manipulation, critical thinking is our only last protector from lies that look real. Thank you for reading, and we invite you to share your opinion. Do you think this event is real, or just a narrative game? Is this a real reflection of the pressures of the K-pop industry? Or is it the result of excessive expectations and assumptions from fans? How big is our role as viewers in shaping or destroying the reality of idols? Please discuss in the comments column. But remember, a healthy discussion always starts from the awareness that not everything that is viral is the truth.